Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about men. And I never thought I would ever say that sentence while smiling. Really quick though, if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Vicky, aka Nightmare Maven. I post 2 new videos every single week. I do live streams, a collab occasionally. By occasionally, I mean once every month, technically, with Does This Offend You? If you enjoy this video or any other videos you happen across while you're here, consider subscribing. Become a creepy peep today. I promise it's awesome. For those of you that are returning though, welcome back. I'm very happy to see you again. So I went and saw Men last night, the newest A24 horror film. This is directed by Alex Garland and follows Harper, who rents this gorgeous old country house out in the sticks to recover from a recent trauma. She can't quite escape as she'd like to when she gets to this countryside house because all of the men in this town are super fucking creepy and she just can't fucking relax. So that's basically what we have going on here. Going into this movie, I was already really excited for this and I feel like I put even more pressure on it going in because having just watched Firestarter and The Sadness, Firestarter I didn't have expectations for, but I didn't find it that good of a movie. And The Sadness disappointed me a lot. So I was really hoping it wasn't gonna be a trend for the month of May. Luckily, men came through. I don't think I'll ever say that sentence again, unless it's in regards to this movie. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying and just creepy and unsettling the entire time, because this is ultimately a movie about misogyny and how it's literally everywhere and it's just a vicious cycle that will keep happening unless we put a stop to it, which is what makes this movie so horrifying, because it's real. That's reality. I have a kind of rocky relationship with movies that, I mean, most horror movies are reflecting reality in some way, shape, or another. Some tend to try and be more realistic than others, obviously. But this movie marries the two really well, like kind of fantastical elements and reality. So I feel like it was the perfect balance to where it's like, it didn't feel like it was too real to where I thought it was still a really good movie, but ultimately just made me kind of depressed. Hopefully that makes sense. I can't tell you exactly what fantastical elements because that'll give stuff away. Let's just say it involves what is probably now gonna be one of my top 5 favorite body horror moments. And if you've seen it already, you know what I'm talking about. I was completely floored at the end, in the best way. I also loved the use of color in this movie. So throughout the movie, Harper is having flashbacks to this traumatic event that she is trying to heal from. So we're getting little bits and pieces as the movie goes on as to what happened. But every flashback scene is lit by this like really intense, like orange dusk sunset looking color. Not only is it signifying like the end of something that I won't get into for spoilers, but also it's a very fiery color, which also reflects what's happening in those flashbacks, compared to her in the present day portion of the movie, which is her out in the countryside and everything is just impossibly green. Like, it is so gorgeous. Everything is just so green and lush, and there's a lot of beautiful scenes where Harper is walking through the woods, just kind of like reflecting, and you can feel like she's beginning to heal, and then of course something happens that starts the kind of like unsettling feeling where we're reminded that she's not safe just because she's out in the countryside. And green is such a calming color. I believe I read somewhere once it's the only color your eye doesn't have to focus to see. I might be wrong on that. Then the rug is pulled out from underneath us. But I really love the use of color in there. There are some nods to, like, I'm gonna use pagan as an umbrella term here, but like pagan ideology, I guess, or mythology. There are a lot of references to the Green Man. Again, I can't really explain some of the exact references. There's a moment at the very end of the movie where it's very clear. But the Green Man is a symbol of rebirth, and not quite just rebirth. It's more like the cycle of life and death, like things dying and being reborn, and like the circle of life sort of thing. So it makes a lot of sense for the movie when you see that end body horror fantastical moment. That kind of pagan nod or pagan element to the movie really fit the English countryside setting. I feel like this is very firmly in the folk horror genre. And the score, I haven't checked on Spotify or anything yet. I really hope there is like an album on Spotify or a score for it, because they make so much use of vocals, of like choir singing, and oh, the chorus nerd in me was just exalted. I was so happy. I feel like that also kind of evokes a little bit of paganism also, even though there is a church setting, there's a vicar character, and obviously like church choirs are a thing. A lot of the vocals we hear in the movie, not all of them, probably resemble more chanting than singing. That very much felt just very witchy, very pagan. It reminded me a lot of The Wicker Man. There's another song on there, I wish I had the name for it, that plays twice in the movie. I think that also really reminded me of The Wicker Man. But I loved all of those elements. There's no like, I don't want to say there's like a really real like overt occult thing going on. There were just these like little nuggets of like pagan stuff, pagan nods, paganism. And like they were in there in a way that didn't make it feel like witches are like a villain or anything like that. I don't think it's a spoiler to like say what's not in the movie. It's kind of like little subtle things that aren't really explored in the movie so much. Like they're just there, and they're there for you to like kind of make your own interpretation of. That's a big thing in this movie. So I will say, if you're not a fan of movies where not every single question is answered, you may not like this one, because there is quite a bit left up to your interpretation. And I did read an interview from the director who said that was pretty intentional. But overall, I think expectations were very, very met. I would give it a 5 out of 5. I think it was a gorgeous, gorgeous movie. Would 1000% watch it again many, many times. I got no complaints. It scared me in a way that was real, and it scared me in a way with some sort of fantastical element. And it's one of those like, I could make an argument that it hits a different way watching it as a US citizen with everything going on with SCOTUS and Roe v. Wade. But honestly, it would be just as scary if this wasn't happening right now, because the patriarchy is still a thing. Misogyny is still a thing. All right, so I am filming this on Friday morning. So these reviews that I'm about to read are reflective of that. So they are probably definitely subject to change over the course of opening weekend. But right now on IMDb, it has a 6.7 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 75% critic score and a 60% audience score. The audience score is still fewer than 50 reviews for context. And on Letterboxd, it currently has a 3.4 out of 5. Yeah, I have no complaints about this. I think it was a great movie. I'm sticking with my 5 out of 5. I don't know if this is my first 5 out of 5. I could check right now, but it's June next month, and everyone, myself included, will be doing their like 2022 so far update video. So we'll definitely be going over the movies that have come out so far in the year, and we'll see where it lands there. But possibly could be my favorite movie of the year thus far. So if you've seen Men already, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. Again, just give a spoiler warning. If you do want to talk spoilers, definitely tune in for my May Letterboxd wrap up, which will be happening at the very beginning of June, and we can talk about all the juicy details there. I will see you on Monday with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.